What's up, my people? Good afternoon. Yes, sir. In the building. What's up to all y'all? Apologize. I'm on the time frame, so I'm moving all around. Good afternoon, all my people. Welcome back to the No Duck Zone podcast. If it's your first time, yes. We back with this boxing talk. Had an interesting day. Told y'all already what I had to go do. I had to go get up with, the amateur star, Marcel Ramirez, who also will be fighting on September 27th on Strong Island Fight Night Series. I just did a chop up with him today. Make sure y'all go check that out. Tomorrow I'll probably be in the gym with some more fighters. I'll be doing a lot of moving around, y'all. I told y'all I'm at the end of the year, y'all about to see me pick up out here. Y'all about to see me pick up real heavy. No Duck Zone's not gonna be ducking anything. But anyway, happy Throwback Thursday, y'all. I hope your Thursday has been safe so far, even though it's not over. It'll be coming to an end slowly, and I hope everybody's all right out there and they get to where it is that they gotta go safe. Don't drink and drive. Drink, catch a ride. Just saying. So we back. Earlier we spoke about a throwback fight, Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, and now we're back with Canelo and Charlo, which was it wasn't interesting, but it was just interesting to see that everybody doesn't carry weight well, and everybody's not made to jump up. But we're going to talk about that because we're going to try to see, because people are going to try to compare this. If Jamel didn't do it, Crawford can't do it. It's two different people, but let's get into it, though. Let's get into this boxing talk. I'm not going to be long, y'all. This is going to be short unless my man Free comes up and join me. I'll probably be on here probably about 30 minutes. I'm not going to even lie. I'm not looking to pull an hour. 30 minutes probably tops. Because we'll be back with more talk tomorrow. Tomorrow is the weigh-in, so we'll be back for that. All right, so let's go. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, my good people. Please subscribe. I'm at 654. I appreciate it. I see the numbers is moving. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Rather if I know you or not, thank you for the subscribers. 654. Hey, check it, man. Let's get them up higher than that. Let's get them to 700 if we can. And even if we don't get it right then and there, I still appreciate all the subscribers, man. Thank y'all so much and God bless. So, what made me go back to this Throwback Thursday and add these two fights, because the last time, you know what? I was thinking about what fights that I can go back to that meant something to me. The Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo meant something to me before we even saw what happened. The Earl Spence and Crawford fight meant something to me before we even saw what happened in that. So when I wanted to go back, and I said, since it's fight week, let me go back to a throwback. So that's what I decided to do. Now, I explained about how I felt about that fight and how it shocked us and who was the better man at the fight, and maybe Earl Spence stayed at the weight too long. Should have moved. We had voiced our opinions earlier about how we felt about that. Everybody made up every type of excuse for Earl. It is what it is. What happened, happened, right? So now we look at 2 months later, Canelo versus Jamel. And when we first hear this, we're like, this is crazy. What's going on? What up, what up, what up? So we're like, this is crazy. Jamel Charlo is going up from 154 to 168? No, hell no. You got to be kidding me. Come to find out, it wasn't no joke. It was real. So now, after just getting Crawford and Spence, we're thinking, okay, 2023 was a very great year. And we're thinking, okay, we're getting to the end of the year. This is all right. Y'all might not want to see this, but this is good. This is what we're getting. Jamel just might be able to go up and do something amazing. Just like the Spencer Crawford, I went to that press conference, looked to see how much bigger Jamel was compared to Canelo. Now this is at the Palladium, you know. So I'm sitting there as media and I'm looking up at him. I'm close enough. I'm probably like just a row and back, and I'm looking and saying, "Holy shit!" Jamel looks like a walking building compared to Canelo. So anyway, I'm thinking in my mind, we're gonna do something great. Something great is going to happen in this fight. We don't know. Canelo might have had just really met his match. And I don't like to assume anything, but you know, because how somebody performs, and if we don't see them give it they all, we think that hey, the guy didn't really come to fight. The person was just here for money, right? Because we expect a fighter to fight a certain way, especially if we paid for it, rather if it's pay per view or we bought a ticket, we paid for a flight, we put gas in our car to get to the fight, whatever you call, all right? We paid to see it, any way you look at it. So when a fighter doesn't live up to what they're supposed to, or what we feel like they're supposed to, the first thing we say is, this guy just came for a check. Now, the fight comes, and I'm in my mind like, okay, we're going to see something spectacular. We're going to be able to say Earl Spence got what happened to him, and then now Canelo's going to get, oh, damn it, this is going to be one hell of a year. We might end up getting a Crawford versus Jamel Charlo. Now, y'all not going to tell me y'all wasn't thinking about that. Had, total of 67 fights. Yes. Now, had Jamel Charlo got that win against Canelo, who knows if we would have got Crawford versus Charlo. That would have been the plan for 2024. And the fight happens. In the first couple of rounds, we're looking at Charlo like, okay, maybe he just needs time to warm up. It's a new weight. Sometimes you need to warm up. You look at some fighters like Tank Davis, he doesn't just come out in the first rounds and blast you. Sometimes it takes for him to warm up. Sometimes when that fifth or sixth round come, he got your ass. Maybe the seventh round, he got you. It takes time for some fighters to warm up. We're looking at Jamel, and I forgot what round it was when the knockdown came. It wasn't a big knockdown. I mean, it didn't hurt him, but there was something about it when I go, okay, nothing looked wrong with Jamel. If you looked at him, you know how we assumed all these other fighters, something looked like it was wrong with them. You looked at AJ when he fought Luis, something was wrong with him. We looked at Earl when he fought Crawford, something was wrong with him. Deontay Wilder against Fury, something was wrong with him. But you clearly looked at Jamel Charlo and nothing was wrong with him. So two things. Could the weight have played the role, or was he there for a check? Or was his mind on something else? Now I know a lot of y'all gonna say, I don't care what it was, all I know is that he didn't come to fight. And I looked at that and I tried not to run in that direction as everybody else, as far as assuming, but I said, damn, I hope a fight breaks out at some point in this fight. Was it too much muscle for him? Which I doubted because the Charlos walk around, just Jamel alone, at 54, like I told you about earlier today. 54 is not they walk around weight. For Jamel Charlo, I know it wasn't his walk around weight. Maybe the man could have been 170 some pounds, maybe 180. I know you're not going to tell me he was 160 pounds. Not making excuses. Did that play a role? Hell, I don't know. But we were trying to figure out And if you watch the fight, like me, we were all trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? Are you here to fight Jamel, or are you here for a payday? Excuse me, y'all. I have to get my good old water. And there was some concerns, even though Charlo wanted to fight Canelo years ago. What are we talking? 2015, 2016? I don't know. When they all was in the same weight class. I mean, weren't they all at one? What was it? 140 or 154 at the time? It never happened. But even when it did happen, I was excited about it. I said, okay, let's see how this goes. Sometimes fights, you have to wait so long to get them. By the time you get them, they're just not what they could have been if it would have happened 4 or 5 years ago. What would have happened if Pacquiao and Mayweather would have happened 5 years earlier than what it did? Now, some of y'all said, yo, the same thing would have happened. Floyd would have smoked them. I'm just saying, what would the results would have been had the fights would have been 4 or 5 years ahead of time? Because you're not as young as you were when your first time you could have fought. That's almost, let's see, that was almost 8 years in the making between Charlo and Canelo. Yeah, from 2015 to 2023. What is that? 8 years? Am I off on my math? Anybody can correct me? Am I off? So who knows what could have happened? But it didn't matter, right? It wasn't time for the fight to happen. So it happened. But steady us just going by what we see in highlights. If you watch that fight, and if you can go back to the fight now and watch it, it was kind of hard to even break down the fight. There was probably more judging the fight than breaking it down because it really wasn't nothing to break down. For people who like to break down fights, that one was kind of it was easy to talk about because not much happened, right? Right? Because we were probably trying to spend more time of thinking what's going on with Jamel Charlo. What's going on with Jamel? Because that's not the Jamel we used to, but we're also not used to a Jamel jumping 2 weight classes up. This is the reason why this whole Crawford thing, a lot of y'all are gonna go try to compare, right? This is what a lot of y'all are gonna do, and I already know it's happening. Well, if Jamel couldn't do it, what makes you think Crawford could do it? Jamel is much a bigger man than Crawford. Now, is Jamel more skilled than Crawford? And I'm fans of Jamel Charlos. I know their father, not personally, but I've had conversations with him. In my opinion, no, they're not. Crawford's a different type of dude. And that's not to take nothing away from Jamel. But a lot of y'all are going to try to compare that. You're going to try to go out your way to compare it. It's no comparisons. 2 different fighters. Right? If it's orthodox, however you want to put it. And that's what's going to be the difference. We seen Jamel jump 2 years ago, and now 2 years later, we're seeing Crawford do it. But it's 2 different people from 2 different worlds. Now, people didn't want to credit Jamel because it was just like, hey, man, you were just there for the check. We're not giving you no credit, man. You could have fought harder than that. A lot of people say Jamel's only coming back now because, hey, the money probably ain't like it was. I said, well, he fought Canelo. He's good. I would like to think. Some people just start missing it, or some people want to come back to make a little more money. any way you look at it, a lot of y'all were disappointed because we paid for this. I paid for it. But I also was seeing a brother trying to be great. So him moving up to two weight classes, in my opinion, I said, damn, Jamel's going to be great. He's daring to be great. And who better for him to take on than Canelo? I was even like, hey, man, I don't mind watching this Canelo fight because I haven't watched the Canelo fight. Before this, you can't ask me when the last Canelo fight I've watched. I can't tell you. I can't really tell you. It wasn't until he challenged Jamel that I watched it. All these other fights that he had, after watching him fight Jamel, I didn't watch Canelo fight again, and probably until he fought Edgar Berlanga, which we're not getting into that. So I wasn't entertained or moved about anything that he did. I wasn't cool with the choice of opponents. I also didn't see Terrence Bud Crawford moving up to fight him. That was a shocker. Do y'all see how I'm putting all this together? Because a lot of y'all, like I said, are going to say Charlo couldn't do it. What makes Crawford different? I just told you. There's levels to this. And that's not nothing. That's not me taking anything away from Jamel, who is still one of my favorite fighters. And will always be. I don't care if y'all think he's washed up or not. I don't care what you think. Well, of course he's going to be your favorite fighter. You're going to pick him because he's black. Okay, whatever. Say what you want. He's still one of my favorite fighters. And guess what? Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, he's one of my favorite fighters. So what are y'all going to say about that? But there was some disappointment because this whole fight didn't turn out the way people wanted it to be. And it happened. And like I said, it's not much for you to break down in the fight. It would be something to break down if more would have happened in the fight. There was times Charlo tried to throw back, but there wasn't nothing there. Did he have an off night? I could say that. I can't go out the way and say it was about the money. Um, he overtrained 168 pound of muscle being on him might have slowed him down. That played the part. I'm not in no position to do that. A lot of y'all are trying to be experts. I can't do that because I don't know what was on that man's mind when he stepped in the ring. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was going through. You know, mental health is running rampant in boxing. And a lot of times you don't know what these guys are thinking when they're in that ring. We think it because we see them live the life that they live, that everything is peaches and cream. And then you find out that their mental is not where it should be. It's a lot going on. I don't make excuses for fighters, but mental is really like, it's something that can interfere in your life. If you let it, remember I spoke about that. You got to get control of your mental. But it might not have been the greatest fight in 2023 at that time. Everybody was expecting it to be because we had a lot of great fights in 2023. We was expecting one of those, but it's okay. Um, Jamel Charlo gave it a shot. Didn't work. John, what's up? Salute. You gave it a shot. What is Bud gonna do? We gotta wait and see. But don't y'all go out there saying Jamel Charlo couldn't do it, so Terrence Bud Crawford can't do it. Those are two different people from two different worlds. Two different worlds. And that's no disrespect. Do y'all remember that they was already talking some Charlo versus Crawford talks? Hold on, y'all. I told y'all that had he would have went and did what he was supposed to do, Jamel, I mean, um, man, do you know we could have ended up seeing Crawford versus Charlo maybe? Can y'all imagine how that would have went? Had we would have got that. It would have been super amazing to see that. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But let's not do that, right? Let's not do the comparisons because tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, all next well, not all next week, but this week, y'all will be trying to find little things to win the argument about this. Jamel Charlo, Terrence Bud Crawford, two different people. Two great fighters. Two great, amazing fighters that I would have loved to see get it on. I would have loved to see them get it on. Hold on. Good looking, good looking, colleague. These dudes come on and say crazy stuff, and they think it's gonna slide in here, not over here. They ain't. Have a nice day. People don't realize how fast I'll get you up out of here. But like I was saying, let me finish because I'm not gonna be on here long, y'all. Um, it wasn't one of those fights that's gonna go down in history where everybody's gonna say, "Yo, you remember the Jamel Charlo and Canelo? That shit was dope, man. It was amazing. It was exciting." I'll tell you this: what we're not gonna do is act like that was the first fight in history where we didn't get the results that we wanted. We have had a lot of fights where fighters have came in there and not done what they're supposed to for whatever reason. If something went wrong, and we put money up on these guys. Perfect example: Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. Did y'all just ever? Did you? I mean, for the people who might have remembered, did y'all think that he would just quit like that? No mas. You know how many people put money up on that fight? I'm sure a lot of people put money up on that fight. Miss Fields, what's up, Queen? People put a lot of money up on Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran too. They wasn't expecting Roberto Duran to quit. So we're not going to act like we just started seeing stuff in boxing that we disagree with. That doesn't make it right, but we've been seeing fights for years where fights didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to turn out. Some people didn't show up. Some guys, they walk out the dressing room and they leave their heart and soul in the dressing room and come to the ring with nothing. It's like that. Jamel Charlo versus Canelo wasn't the first fight we ever saw where it didn't go the way we didn't want to go. There was plenty of fights before them and before they ever that we got that we were upset about the results. And we go, what the fuck was that? So now the question was, can Terrence Crawford go do what Jamel Charlo didn't do or what a lot of people couldn't do? The hell if I know. I'll tell you what I ain't gonna do. I'm not gonna sit up here arguing with you fools about it, and I'm not gonna be debating with nobody about it. I'm gonna sit my ass in front of the TV when it comes on, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I got today, tomorrow, and Saturday to talk about it, and then after that, I'm done. I don't give a shit who wins. Doesn't matter to me. I'm sitting back as a boxing fan and enjoying it. So when y'all spending all next week having these silly ass arguments, as if that's going to change the results for Saturday, go right ahead. I'll be on Gabriel Fedora next week, just in case. And if you don't want to hear Gabriel Fedora talking, you want to hear about Canelo and Crawford, then you don't need to be over here because this is not one of these channels. We don't do that. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about, and then we move on. That's what we do over here. We move on. We don't stay stuck. Right? No Doug's own family? Because one thing we don't care about over here is views. We don't care nothing about that shit. The views are going to come regardless. Tay, what's up, sis? We don't care nothing about none of that. Right? I want everybody that's watching the fight this week, I want y'all to be safe. Have a good time. Don't go too crazy. And just enjoy it. May the best man win this Saturday. I know who listen, I already know who I'm going for. I ain't gotta let y'all know. Just enjoy it this week. That's all I want everybody to do. There's no need to be on no channels arguing. There's no need of trying to come at each other, kill each other, insult each other, which y'all like doing. Enjoy it. That's why I love Throwback Thursday, man. I love this shit. You see how I just broke down to the Canelo and Jamel Charlo? I didn't make no excuses for that. I can't tell you nothing because I don't know what was wrong with that man that night. I don't know if he was battling with demons. Something might have been on his mind. It might have been the weight. I don't know if it was the weight, too much muscle. Was he there for a check? The hell if I know. The hell if I know. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I don't know what was wrong that night. But it didn't matter. Canelo won. I need everybody this week and next week and the week after and all the up and coming weeks. I would want Bud to. Um, shit. I mean, I don't know, Tay. I remember Tay. We wanted to see Jamel and Bud. I was thinking if Jamel would have beat Canelo 2 years ago in 2024, we probably would have got him. Jamal, I don't know. Jamal might be too big. I don't know. Well, I can't say that because Canelo's big, but Canelo's just big in weight. He's not big in height. I don't know. We don't know what the future holds. This is what makes Saturday so interesting because we don't know how this is going to turn out. I tell you what's going to happen. I bet you after this, if Canelo did win, y'all ain't gonna see him against no David Benavidez. I tell you that. You know, Canelo always say he doesn't take fights unless he knows he can win. Think about it. Think about it. That's what y'all ain't thinking about. He didn't just take this money. He didn't just take this fight for the money. Canelo says, I usually don't take fights unless I know I can win. There's something that Canelo might see. And Bud, where he feel like he can. But I tell you what, no matter what happens Saturday, if y'all think y'all going to see a David Benavidez versus Canelo, then y'all don't know boxing as much as I thought y'all did. It's not happening. Canelo's gonna go right back out there and go fight the guy who stands on the highway selling y'all water and roses. And that's not an insult. Or they'll take him in. Matter of fact, excuse me, they'll have Shiraz for him. You know, the one who knocked out Edgar Berlanga, they'll have him lined up. Remember, they told him if you beat Edgar Berlanga, we can get you in Shiraz. That'll be his next match, y'all. Canelo Alvarez versus Shiraz. I don't know his first name. I only know Shiraz. Took me a while to get that. What do y'all think is going to happen? If Bud wins, what happens with Bud? I don't know. I can't see him staying at 68. I can't see him staying at 68. Who knows if he stays in boxing? I don't know. None of us know. We can only tell you what we want to see. We don't know. But I know this Saturday we got a fight on our hands, and it's going to be great. I see the atmosphere in Vegas already. I see a lot of the content creators from here that's out there in Vegas. Do your thing. I can't see him at seeing him at 68 right now gives me the chills. And he's taking on one of the very best. Rather we agree with who Canelo fought or not, it is what it is. Rather if we agree with who Canelo fought, and that's including me, he is taking on one of the best in 68. He gets past Canelo, I can't see who he'll be at, who he can fight. I can't. I can't. Had Jamel Charlo got past Canelo, I had a better chance of wondering who I would see him fight at 68 because he was a bigger guy. Jamal Charlo's like, I don't know, what is he, 5'11", 6 foot, something like that. I could see him staying at 68 if he wanted to. If he wanted to. But to see Crawford compete at that weight, Crawford's about the same height as me, y'all. I seen Crawford in real life. Crawford ain't no 5'8", he ain't no 5'9", he's 5'7". I done seen him. Canelo's 5'7", but they used to tell y'all that he was 5'9". Bullshit. I used to believe in that till I saw both of them. I saw both of them. The first time I got to see Bud was on Shakur card, Shakur Fort, New Jersey. We was in the hotel, and he walked through the hallway, and I said, "Oh, shiznit. Bud is the same height as me. That's crazy." Now I see Canelo for the Jamel Charlo press conference here in New York. I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy. He the same height as me." Yeah, you know what I mean? But things happen. Don't ask me well, McLean, since you talking about it, what happened with Jamel Charlo and Canelo? Well, I'll tell you, you can't tell me shit. Because some of y'all don't speak from experience. You never been in that ring. You can't assume something. Some of y'all speak from hate. I'll tell you what happened. He a damn alcoholic. That's what happened. And he probably had a couple drinks the night before and had a damn hangover, just probably recovered, and that's why he lost. Y'all speak from hate. And this is the reason why racism kicks in, because y'all speak from hate. I don't know what happened that night with him and Canelo. I don't know. It's 2 years later, and to me, it really don't matter. What's going to be your excuse this week? Something go the way y'all expect it to go. What's y'all excuse? Because all this black, white, Mexican, and all this other stuff we keep throwing in, all that shit doesn't matter to me. What I want to know is what's y'all excuse after Saturday, no matter who wins. Because what I feel like is going to be an all racist war that's already going on, but it's going to get even worse. Y'all going to spend weeks calling each other names back and forth. I won't participate in none of that garbage. I won't participate in none of it. Because none of it, at the end of the day, makes any sense. Like this man this dude that used to come on my live. Uh, and I used to love it. I mean, damn, I wish I can get up with him again. I haven't seen him in about 2 years, probably, maybe 2, 3 years. But he used to say, "I'm not a boxing fan. I'm a boxing man." Coach Ant, shout out to you, man. If you're out there somewhere, you probably don't even know I got a channel. I'm a boxing man, not a boxing fan. So, however Saturday night turns out this week, hey, our job as content creators is to be on here voicing our opinions, letting other people voice their opinions, long as they're keeping it respectful. But then, any racist comments, yeah, keep dropping the knowledge, brother. Thank you. Any racist comments or any of that? There's no need for that because we all can have a rational conversation without the racism being brought to the table. Even though racism does exist, and for y'all that think it don't exist, I don't know what world you're coming from, but it does exist, and it's here, and it's not going nowhere. But just because it's not going nowhere, that doesn't mean we have to participate in it. So keep that on your mind. It's going to be great this week. I can't wait. I think there's some action going on today. The undercard fights are going on today. It said 2 p.m. So I believe they're probably on now. That's what I heard Max Kellerman say yesterday at the media workout. So they might be on now, but I know the weigh-in is tomorrow, 6 p.m. I'm going to go live before 6 p.m. I don't want to be live when the weigh-in is on. I want to be able to catch everything. Or I can go live after the weigh-in. You know what? Matter of fact, that's probably what I'll do tomorrow. Instead of going live before the weigh-in, I'll probably go live right after the weigh-in. Set my live for a decent time. Probably 6:45, 7 o'clock, maybe. That would be appropriate. I want to see how the weigh-in goes so we could be able to talk about it. But it's all fun, y'all. It's all fun. These two throwback shows that I did, the Crawford versus Spence, the Canelo versus Jamel, it was for a reason. Because like I said, those are the two last fights. I didn't even see Bud's last fight. I probably glanced at it. And like I said, I haven't seen Canelo's fight since Jamel. Or excuse me, since Belenga, to be honest with you. Belenga was the last one I glanced at. But before Belenga, it was Jamel. So that shows you I don't really too much watch him like that. I was happy with it. I'm happy with it. And hey man, I'm even looking forward to Jamel coming back. There was talks with him and Spence. Let's see. Remember, I talked about that before. Now, if they make that official, I'll be back to talk about it again. I'll definitely be back to talk about it again. I don't want to keep this too long, y'all. I didn't want to be on here all day. I gotta bust some moves. I'm sorry. I've had a long day. I did my live this morning. I had the amateur show I got up with. Now I'm doing this one. I'll be back tomorrow morning. It probably won't be no chop up in the morning. I'm gonna think we might just go ahead and get on to the Crawford. I might just start it off with him and just go from there. We'll see how the day goes. Depends on how busy I get, but I'll let y'all know what's going on. Be blessed out there, y'all. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday, man. And let's just all be respectful to each other, man. Because I know a lot of y'all are gonna lose your mind. This fight is gonna cause a lot of y'all to lose your mind, and you shouldn't lose your mind. I don't care if you betting or not. Don't lose your mind. You understand? These fighters ain't your family members. You know what I'm saying? They're not none of that. So don't lose your mind. If you don't allow somebody in your family to get on your nerve like that, you can't allow somebody that you ain't related to get on your damn nerve or to aggravate you or to make you crash out. Let's have these safe and respectful boxing conversations. And if we can't, then maybe we don't need to be around to have them. That's simple. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.